Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about grief. And I'm talking about this because uh, grief is an intense, multi layered emotional, physical reaction to loss. And it's not always because of death, but a lot of times it is. Uh, it isn't just a single feeling like sadness, right? It is an entire process that can include confusion, anger, exhaustion, and deep longing. To answer the question of what grieving is, it is absolutely biblical. Okay? There's a lot of verses that you can go look up. Psalms 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalms 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Matthew 5:4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Jesus modeled grief himself in John chapter 11, verses 35 and 36. It talks about how that when Lazarus died, Jesus was grieving all the grief about the death of Lazarus. And it's the shortest recorded verse in the Bible where Jesus wept. And then he said and then it says that the Jews said, "See how he loved him." Uh, there's so much more to grieving and what it entails. Uh, Psalm 62:8 brings a very good point out. It says, "Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge." I have had several people uh, tell me that, don't be sad, don't be grieving. You're the apostle. You're not supposed to have to deal with that. You just trust in Jesus. You just rely on Him. And if Jesus can cry, so can I. There's no set time period for grief, though in the Old Testament it talks about when a woman lost her husband in death, she would dress in black, wear grieving clothes, and grieve for 7 days in her tent in private, away from everybody. And then she would come out and marry her brother in law. Never says that she fully was done grieving. It just said that she was allowed 7 days. And then she had to marry her brother in law, not because it was to give him a new wife and make him so great and everything, it was to protect her. That's what got the laws back then about women was set up to do. They weren't set up to show that men were more superior and they deserved to have multiple wives. But that's not what God wanted. God said in Genesis that a man will leave his father and mother and become one with his wife. That's it. This whole thing about multiple wives didn't come about until many years later out of men's greed. And then when we look at uh, Jacob, when he lost Rachel. Do you know that there's no time period where it ever says that Joseph or Jacob stopped grieving for his wife Rachel? He grieved her until the day he died. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to grieve until I die. I don't want to. But if you see me and I talking with you and all of a sudden I start to cry, don't get angry with me, because grief is in the Bible. Now, the woman that I lost didn't die. Great, thank God for that. But in my heart, it feels like she's dead because she's gone. And I don't know why, but, and I'm not going to be looking for another wife. And I don't want anybody else. And, but just know that it's okay to grieve. Now, am I spending time with God? Yes. That's all I do anymore is talk to Him and pray to Him. I've got a wall in my bedroom. If you will check out my Facebook page, I think I posted it on it, where I've got scriptures, I've got people that I pray for, and I got a picture of a warrior telling the devil that he is a defeated foe. Understand? And then in small letters down about midway down, it says, if just imagine the devil's looking down on you and thinking in his mind, why won't this guy just give up? And I feel like that's me. I'm not giving up, people. And I'm not turning away from God. And I am in prayer with Him daily, on and off throughout the whole day, which in Thessalonians it says, pray without ceasing. So I'm doing all that. But my heart is broken deeply. And I'm dealing with a great loss in my life. And I'm praying and asking God to help me to get over it. The last time I went through this type of grieving was a little over 16 years ago, and it took me almost 2 years to get over it, to get healed completely. I'm not saying it's going to take me 2 years this time around, but I don't know. I'm just asking God every day to give me the strength to get through each day. And I'm probably not going to come back to YouTube for another week. So just keep me in prayer. All right? I love everybody that follows me, subscribe to me. And if I lose subscribers after this video, well, so be it. But if you have something that you're grieving, if you have something that you need to talk to somebody about, email me. Those of you that are local, have my number, call me. I'll pray with you. That helps me with my grief. So I'll be back. Just give me a little more time so I can get strong enough to continue to do the work that God is calling me to do. Amen? God bless everybody.